Hi class, welcome to Counseling 145. This is Career and Life Planning, and I just wanted to give you a really quick overview of the syllabus. So I know that since this is an online class, I know sometimes people could find it a little bit harder to ask questions or to really understand how to navigate the online classroom or what the expectations are, how to post things. I know every instructor teaches very differently in person as well as online. So I just wanted to create, kind of like a different visual for you just so that you can hear about some of the things that I expect in the class. And then to clarify, of course, anything that may seem confusing in the actual syllabus itself. So this presentation format is not to replace the actual syllabus that I have posted in Canvas under the syllabus section itself. I'll show you in a little bit where that is and what that looks like. But that is an actual, I guess, old school syllabus that you could print out if you wanted to have a hard copy for yourself. This is just me going over, in general, some of the more important aspects. I mean, obviously everything's important, but some of the key things that a lot of students may have questions about or things that I want to highlight in particular. So let's get started. So my name is Stephanie Yee. I am a counselor at Citrus College in the Career and Transfer Center. I am available by appointments if you want to see me in a counseling appointment for anything that has to do with academics, personal, career, transfer. I'm on the second floor of the Student Services building. I'm available for appointments Mondays and Tuesdays in person, so if you wanted to actually come see me for possibly anywhere between a half an hour, a 45-minute, or a 1-hour appointment, depending on what your concern is, I am housed in that building. As for the class itself, I do virtual appointments, so if you want to talk on the phone, or specifically, I think a lot of students have found it really convenient just to either email me or message me through the Canvas Message Center. I do get back to you guys fairly quickly, or at least I really try to. So if you have, questions or concerns, feel free to message me through the Canvas Message Center. And if there's anything that we need to talk about in person, we can always schedule something virtually and convenient for both of us. So a little bit about this course description. So this class is really designed for students seeking direction about a career or a major, or there's a lot of students in this class sometimes in career transition. They might be going from a different job to a different job, or maybe they were in school and then decided to drop out for whatever reason and are coming back to school. There's so many different reasons why people are in this course. I've seen students as young as high school students getting college credit for being in high school, to people that have waited until their kids, graduated from high school or graduated from college to just kind of do some soul searching and take classes for fun, or rediscovering themselves by taking this class and figuring out, the next steps if they wanted to possibly get a new job. I've seen people in their 50s and 60s taking this class, sometimes just for fun or just to get to know themselves. So I've seen everything all in between as well. It's really designed to help you guys choose, change, and confirm your career choices. So while I don't expect at the end of this class you're going to have this amazing clarity and all of a sudden know this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life, I'm hoping that through some personal self-assessment, learning about the world around you and understanding how to begin job search, whether it's creating a cover letter or a resume, or figuring out how to network and schmooze with people, or figuring out, for example, how to best go about preparing for an interview. These are some of the skill sets that will give you some practice, I think, and also just having the resources through some of the links that I give you, some of the videos, the resources, so that you could then do all of those things after this class is over. So in terms of the objective, I would say the first almost half of the class is going to be you doing some form of reflection and self-assessment. Then you'll have the opportunity, once you get to know yourself a little bit better, to actually apply all of that to doing some actual career research. So you'll be picking an occupation. Of course, this is going to come up after doing a lot of the different self-assessments, seeing how your values, your skills, your interests, your abilities, your personality, your strengths, all the different facets of who you are, how it all overlaps. I know a lot of you might be coming into this class with a few possible majors or career titles or occupations in mind. Some of you might have no clue, which is totally okay. That's very common. And there's a lot of you who might have some, jobs out there that you're thinking about applying to and you want to know more about it. So that's where you're going to get the opportunity to do occupational research. Like I mentioned, you're actually going to be able to create a draft of a resume and a cover letter. I know some people are like, what's a cover letter? I think it's a really perfect time to create some kind of introduction about yourself. So a resume a lot of times is just the quick and dirty bullet points of where you went to school, maybe some of your work experiences or volunteer experience, a quick bulleted list of skills, but it doesn't actually complete the picture of who you are as a person and why you're applying to a certain job, or being able to quickly highlight why that employer could benefit from you working there, or what you could bring to the job, or the motivations for your background and why you decided to apply to a certain position. And that's what a cover letter is giving the employer in about, I'd say, 3 paragraphs, why you're applying, why you're a good fit, what skills you're bringing to the table, why the company is a good fit for whatever reason, and how they can reach out and contact you. So we'll be spending some time on that. And then your final for the class is actually getting feedback from myself, as well as other people in your life, as well as your classmates, and actually revising that cover letter and resume. Again, it's a product that's constantly in progress, but at least you should have a nice product at the end of the class, and that would be your final. It's also going to go through a little bit of decision making. So once you actually do your self-assessments, do some research, how do you go about creating this action plan to move forward and make some decisions? It's also going to touch on networking. That is huge right now, especially in the era of social media. People are constantly finding jobs. You'd be surprised through avenues like Instagram or LinkedIn, which we'll have a big topic about in class, or even through social media networks like Facebook. So that's huge right now, as well as getting to know people outside in the fields and the industries that you're interested in. And then finally, the main goal, I think the takeaway of this class is just to identify the best fit career and majors for you. And I know this, again, may change over the lifetime, but at least by the end of this class, I'm hoping that you'll be able to narrow down a little bit more, especially if you had a lot of choices, or if you were completely undecided, how to possibly, figure out, based on who you are and all the different options out there, maybe some ideas to move forward with. So in terms of units of study, so again, the beginning part of the class is going to be more focused on career readiness and self-reflection. Then you'll go through occupational research and decision making. You'll have some career self-assessments that you're going to be taking, and then different modules connected to networking, job search, resume, cover letter, and interviewing. Before we get into the discussion guidelines, I just kind of want to go over a little bit about what it takes to be in an online course. So because this is online, what's really unique about this class is that I'm really hoping you have some decent time management and organizational skills. You got to have a reliable computer and email address. I know some of you want to use Canvas over your phone, which I think is great. I mean, I do that too, just to check things really quickly. But then to be able to post assignments and everything like that, usually a laptop computer is helpful. A positive attitude, the discipline necessary to stay on top of your work without someone telling you in person when assignments are due. I try my very best to send announcements about things that are due, but most importantly, I think Canvas does a really great job of outlining the calendar, the due dates. So be sure to stay on top of that, just so that you know. My style of class, I guess, creating this class is mostly through discussion. You'll have one big assignment that's worth 60 points, but almost weekly, not every week, but almost weekly, you'll have some type of discussion. And then a key component of this class is just being an active participant on that discussion board. And the reason I say this and what I'm getting into with the discussion board guidelines is, if you think about it, you're actually not in class, not in a physical class. So imagine that if you're in a 3-unit class, you'll be in that class about 3 hours a week. So instead of being in that class, sitting in a class 3 hours a week, all of that time is dedicated to you being on Canvas. And through Canvas, there's different things that you could do. So it might be listening to a lecture, or it might be me writing down in detail different links that will take you to articles that I want you to read and think about. You might be guided to different videos that I would like you to watch that are relevant specifically to the topics that really enhance your knowledge about a particular subject. There's no required book, so I'm going to be giving you a lot of these resources and providing you everything that you need for this class. So all of that research and reading and reflecting and thinking is all not in place of class, because a lot of it is you're going to be on the discussion board, writing responses, reading other people's posts, providing feedback, asking clarifying questions, discussing in class like you would and participating like an in-person class. So that's going to take the place of the 3 hours. So if you think, oh yeah, online classes are really chill, they're easy. I'm just going to, post, assignments real quick and take tests. So this part of this class in particular, I want to kind of supplement what a dialogue would be in class. So a lot of your points are going to be dedicated to this discussion board. So I'm going to have a list of discussion board rules that I'm going to go over. And I don't mean this to overwhelm people or to be really strict. It's really just to give you some structure. And I know with online classes, a lot of people are initially kind of confused about expectations. So you can see in the actual syllabus what those discussion board participation guidelines look like, but you're basically going to have 10 different discussions and they're 20 points each. And then how it works is that every week you're going to start on a Monday, and I know that this, what's nice about Canvas is that you're going to be able to view some of the topics way earlier than that. So if you're a very proactive person and very organized and you want to start things earlier, you can do that. But technically, discussion begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. You can look ahead to the future modules to see the topics before that week as a preview if you want to. You can post earlier if you'd like to. The only thing that I ask of you guys is for every topic, for every single initial post, it must be made Wednesday of that week. So that is going to be your due date. Of course, I know life happens and you may post after Wednesday midnight and on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's fine. If you went ahead and posted, that's going to obviously be for partial credit. I just don't want you to not post when you could just post something, and even if it's late, that's okay. Not promoting that. I'm hoping all of you guys are going to post by the due date. And also, there's going to be an opportunity for you guys to respond to each other. So as respect to all of your classmates, please post early, just so that everyone that does post on time has the opportunity to, have a variety of different, classmates that they could respond to. I also want you guys to spread out postings over 2 separate days of the week. And what I mean by that is your posts, your initial post can be really any day of the week. So most students post over the weekend or on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and then your responses could be on a different day of the week. The reason for that is that I want you guys to be logging in and using Canvas regularly, just like a regular class. I know that some classes, could be 1 day a week, but a lot of times you're having discussion and dialogue. And for an online class, if all of you guys did everything Sunday between 9 p.m. and midnight, and there were some people that posted really early, they may not have the exact same opportunity to post to everybody. So that way, by having things due midweek like at Wednesday, it encourages everyone to have at least all of their postings in. And then when I ask that you post over 2 separate days of the week, people are logging in at different times and different days. But that's good because, we're constantly getting ongoing comments and discussion through the boards. I also ask that you don't reply later than Sunday midnight to your classmates. And then I also ask that you reply to the minimum number of classmates. So for certain boards, you might be asked, like the intro board, to reply to 5 different